Hey, what's up guys, my name is Sachin and you're watching the Tech Talks. So in this video, we'll be looking at the top 5 tech myths in the year 2018. Now the myth number 1 is better spec means better devices. Now whether you're looking for a new laptop or a new smartphone, you have probably been tempted to just throw your money at the top model and save the mental gymnastics over specs and features. It's natural. We often hope that spending a little more to get the fastest phone will make it last longer, or that the computer with the most memory and the storage will run faster. It's not just you. Manufacturers depend on the customers thinking that way, and they price the models accordingly. In reality, top-of-the-line specs don't guarantee that your phone or your computer will work any better for you than the one with the most modest features. For example, spending more on a laptop with the absolute fastest processor won't matter unless you're doing processor-heavy tasks like editing a video or encoding music. Similarly, worrying about whether your smartphone has the latest processor versus the one in the latest model probably won't matter as much as more practical details like whether the storage space or the camera quality fits your needs. For most people, obsessing over specs is a waste of time. The real message here is that while it's easy to get caught up in the game of latest and the greatest, you should really pay attention to the features that matter to you. If you're looking for a phone that will last all day, you need to focus on the battery. If you want a computer or laptop with which you can travel, then focus on the battery and also the weight. But never just buy the biggest and the best and assume that it will fit your needs. The myth number 2 is the battery should be at 0 before you recharge it. The idea that you should always completely discharge a battery before charging it up again has legitimate origins, but it doesn't apply to the current technology. Years ago, when nickel metal hydride and nickel cadmium batteries were most common, they suffered from an issue called as battery memory. Unless the battery was completely spent before being recharged, it would remember how much power it had used and only charge back up to that amount. If done repeatedly over time, the battery would never charge again totally. Fortunately, the lithium-ion batteries that are probably there in your phone or your laptop right now doesn't suffer from any kind of issue, at least not in any significant ways. In fact, with a lithium-ion battery, you can actually do more harm than good by letting them die before charging them again, because they have limited number of charge cycles. In reality, the biggest enemy of modern batteries is the temperature. The cooler you can keep your battery, either while charging it or while in use, the more you can prolong the battery life. The myth number 3 is more megapixel means better cameras. When small point-and-shoot cameras took off and larger DSLR cameras became more affordable, there was a brief rush among the manufacturers to push out models with the greatest number of megapixels. Unfortunately, because those dazzled spec-hungry consumers and could be used to market cameras, shoppers began to assume that more megapixel meant you were buying a better camera. And you can't really blame them. Marketers lashed up on the idea, and even now in the modern smartphones, the first spec anyone mentions about the built-in camera is the megapixel. All of this led to the megapixel myth, which has persisted from almost a decade. While most photographers understand that more isn't always better in terms of camera, shoppers looking for a good smartphone camera and the phone manufacturer themselves hasn't seemed to have learned this lesson. Megapixels still count. They do tell you how powerful a camera sensor is, which is important for a professional or for anyone who needs to take out physical photographs, but it doesn't necessarily tell you how good the photos taken by the camera will be. Remember, the best photos come from someone who knows how to tweak the settings for the perfect shot. The myth number 4 is planned obsolescence. This is why your phone slows down right before a new model comes out. It happens every year or so. Just before the latest and the greatest phone comes out, your phone suddenly starts running slowly. Maybe it starts freezing, or the apps that you're using start getting sluggish. Either way, if you can relate, you can probably also understand the common feeling that this is all plan of the tech companies to force you into upgrading, a new trick called as planned obsolescence. While there is a real problem in some specific cases, assuming it's the reason everyone's old phone gets slow before the new one is announced, well, it is a bit of an oversimplification. In reality, it's not a conspiracy, and it's not some corporate trick to force you into the newest tech or trap you into the consumerist treatment. It's just a side effect of ever-evolving and ever-improving industry. As those new phones are released, they come with more memory, better screens, faster processor, and other specs. In general, you shouldn't care about these specs unless the developers start building their apps around this. When they do, they optimize the apps for the newest devices, leaving out the older ones obsolete. So as apps are updated to make use of all these features on those new devices, they seem to slow down on older phones. And unless the developers care enough to make sure that your older phones are properly supported, the problem only gets worse over time. The annoying end result may be the same, but you can at least rest comfortably knowing that there is no massive conspiracy to make you keep spending money. The myth number 5 is extended warranty plans are worth your money. It's tough to buy anything at this point without being offered an extended warranty. Whether you're shopping online or in a brick and mortar store, retailers often dangle third-party protection plans and service plans in front of you, promising that for a few extra bucks, they'll replace or repair your purchase if damaged over the next few years. The problem with these offers is that they're almost always unnecessary. In many cases, the pricey extended warranty runs right alongside the extended manufacturer's warranty, which means you may be paying twice than the phone's maker already provides. So be sure to research the warranty that comes with your device. Similarly, if you're using credit card, you may even have extended warranty protection plans from the credit card issuers. Check with the company before you add the pricey phone to your cart. So guys, that was it for this video. I hope you like this. So make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet, and do like this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.